That's a pretty scene. Etihad Stadium on a Friday night. Chilly night in Melbourne. Halftime scores are level. And inside, a crowd at halftime in excess of 48,000, 48,312. Chris Judd seems to be okay. 13 possessions to the major break. Game high is Joel Selwood. He's had 19. Of the Blues, Mark Murphy 15, hit Scotland 15, and Laidlaw's got 13. Chapman in the foreground there, 13 for his side. Steve Johnson 14, James Kelly 14. So everything to play for. Right now we're halfway to a draw. 8-6 apiece after the margin was 12 points. Carlton's way at quarter time. Lee Matthews is down on the boundary with Chris Scott.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for your time. Well, that second half of the quarter, that sort of, where'd it come from?
Well, we started to win the ball a bit more. It's simple stuff, isn't it? I mean, the first quarter and a half was terrible footy. We were really disappointed with it. The last 15 minutes, it felt like we at least got the ball forward a bit more, and that's a result of winning the ball in the contest. And we feel like if we can even up the inside 50s, we should win the game.
And your forward efficiency, fantastic. 8 goals from 23 entries.
Yeah, it's keeping us in it somehow. Yeah. I mean, I think we're well down in terms of the way the game's being played, and we need to turn it around quickly because we can't keep that efficiency up for the whole game, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for your time. All the best.
Interesting to see if there are any changes. Interesting Johnson's role in the first half. Certainly pushed up the ground, Tom.
I reckon he's been up and about, and he hasn't necessarily converted his possessions into goals so far this season, but every time he's been near the ball, particularly forward of centre, he's looked very dangerous, and he got that one goal from a short-range snap, and certainly adding an extra dimension to Geelong tonight.
We were talking about the karma of the bye. Well, the second half will test that.
Well, Geelong have typically had very strong third and fourth quarters, but Carlton also this season have finished their games exceptionally strongly. So interesting to see what they'll do with the sub. David Wojcinski's the sub for Geelong. Add some extra leg speed, and Mitch Robertson providing a little bit of flexibility. We see Jim Bartell moving to the bench, so clearly using their rotations.
Well, he's kicked a couple of goals, Jimmy. He's never kicked 4 in a game. 4 times 3. So had a chance to kick his third just before halftime and narrowly missed. So everything to play for, as I mentioned. 5 with a draw. 5 wins and a draw for the Blues. And 7 out of 7 for the Cats. The Cats so impressive last week on Friday Night Football. Buttering up again. Chris Judd started that second term slowly, was working his way back into the game, but then inadvertently kicked the shin of Mitch Duncan, and that hurt. So he hobbled off the ground. As I said, though, still having a good game and quite an impact. And that young man, Vardy, still trying to get into the game, Nathan Vardy. Second half at the Dome. Friday Night Football. Ottens taps it down. Yaron coughs it up. Breaking away Selwood, his 20th possession, sends it inside the forward 50. Podsiadly created space for the footy. It bounces on. Vardy's first possession, a good one. Christensen! Oh, it may have brushed the fat bit. It did. There you go.
Gee, 2 kids, combining there. 2 of their debutants this year. Vardy to Christensen. It was a slick handball, wasn't it? So the Cats leader for the first time tonight. So close to being a goal in front. Walker. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. Dropped it down. Mackie. Was that a handball? Selwood, well played again. Gee, he's been dominant. Taylor. Duncan liked his game and slaps the handball back to Taylor. Dropped it down. Simpson looked for the free. Duncan pushes. Christensen's been busy. Varco, haven't seen a lot of him, but he's a good finisher. And the Cats are 7 points in front. All of a sudden.
How did that happen?
To see Christensen on screen there, led up Jeremy Labour to the football. Just a really deft touch. Great first touch to Travis Varco, and then created the space to run through. No doubt that young Christensen modelling his game on Travis Varco and Matty Stokes. Just watch Christensen there, led up Jeremy later, and then just had the awareness just to give the ball at the right time, follow up with the block to Travis Varco. Fantastic play from the young player.
And that's what he can do, Travis Varco. Christensen did well as well. Duncan out of the middle, chips it out wide. Here's that man again, Varco. Varco long towards the pocket. Off hands or with their hands in the back. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to Geelong. Nathan Vardy will get the free.
So let's go, mate. Doesn't matter, mate. Hand them back. That's the line. Mark's here.
Well, no force, but it doesn't matter.
It's the signage of it. It's when you see the palm on the back of the hand, clear indicator the umpire hands him back.
If they were to dust for Prince, they would have been there. There goes the kick, hits the post. Good effort by Vardy. Interesting too that Varco getting involved. As I said, capable of very good things. Underrated for so long, he may have become overrated. Does that make sense? But you know what I mean. Russell goes in short. Whoops. Off hands. Dygan a half chance. Murphy under pressure. Carlton looking very ordinary at the moment, out of bounds.
Lee's just come back after Chris Scott's interview. Lee Varco's kicked a beautiful goal, and suddenly the Cats are flying away.
Yes, all of a sudden it's been a big change the last 15 minutes of play.
He kicked 3 goals, 5 to a point in that time, Lee. So 8 scoring shots to 1. Well done by Stokes getting through. Johnson spent it before he actually had it. Then looks up, kicks to Varco. Gee, he's been busy since half-time.
Come on.
Kicked the running goal after the little deft handball from Christensen.
Worked up to just the 8 possessions so far. Stephen Johnson involved again, but it just highlights again, Geelong have had the 2 centre clears, get the ball inside their forward 50, and once it's in there, you've got the opportunity to keep it in there.
There's so much class around the ground, the small mediums in their forward half.
So Varco looking good. He's kicked 2 goals in a few minutes, and Geelong burst away here. Got the best average of the lot. He's played 83 games, Varco, and 172. It's just crazy, isn't it?
Well, at least he's kicked a couple of goals. Really, in the first half, their midfielders were winning the ball in the middle, and they were happy to kick the goals as well. But now their forward half might be about to join the party.
That's pretty consistent.
It's a great confidence booster when you got not only the physical doing of it, but the confidence that we're going to play the game out strong.
And is that the kind of thing, as a coach, you're aware of those statistics, you reinforce that at half-time?
Oh, absolutely. Push it, push it, push it. Make players believe in their fitness.
Out of the middle, Kelly floats one down towards half forward. Varco goes back after it. Could have almost been pushed in the back. Murphy spins around. McLean, Armfield, chips it wide. Well grabbed out there by Carazzo. Goes down towards half forward. On the lead, it's taken by Waite. Now he's about 80 metres from home. And they need something, a bit of a spark here, because in the twinkling of an eye, they've fallen 14 points off the pace. There's Garlett on the lead.
Good hands again. Waite and then Garlett. Now, he could nearly go the way here. He doesn't want to. Goes back inside to Laidler. Nothing much going there because the Cats have got the numbers back. What a beautiful challenge this is for the Blues. We say they're a better team, top form material. Now face a big, big test. 14 points down, Waite's fly. Kelly tried to take them on. Bartel very good. It was a hot footy. He got it to Corey. Corey got it across to Duncan, who's been excellent. Taylor Hunt spirals the ball forward. Thornton, still Thornton. Gets to Dygan. Now McLean on here, if Dygan can get it to him. He did. And McLean can go inside. Now Scotland normally a good kick.
Scotland, who's been busy in this game, goes down towards half forward. Off the hand there of the leader player. That was Halpin, but eventually a combination of hand passes finished up with Scarlett through midfield. Vardy having an impact now. Went to Stokes, out wide. Selwood into the path of Varco, coming across on the angle. Gibbs did brilliantly. Knocked it out of bounds.
Just see Chris Judd on screen there. Just been watching him at the start of this quarter. Not convinced he's covering the ground like he was in the first half. It's clearly hampered by the foot injury.
Warnock knocked it down in front. Carranzo bouncing around in there, controlled it. Warnock gave it across towards Thornton. Back to Carranzo. Judd to Laidler. Comes across half back. Well, third man in the queue got it. Well worked. Garlett gave it to O'Halpin. Now Walker running into an open goal. They'll kick this. He's kicked 15 this season, make it 16. And he goes and he gets it.
Seen that before tonight, haven't we? Over the back.
Well, it was like that. That's how Geelong scored early in the game when Carlton were controlling the first 20 minutes of the game. Geelong got a couple of goals by just being able to actually get through that defensive press. So Carlton have returned the favour. They didn't really look like scoring in conventional means. Geelong were right on top on most parts of the ground, but the one over the back got them there.
To see the Geelong press right up, and it's happened a couple of times tonight. Walker, the beneficiary on this occasion, just starting the centre clear. Chris Judd actually starting forward for Carlton, so maybe he can exert himself in the forward 50 as opposed to the centre clearance.
Well, the Cats have kicked 6 of the previous 7 goals before Walker's very important one there. So the margin back to manageable. Simpson tried to take a couple on. Kelly's tackle was terrific.
Line. Duck, no duck.
So Cameron Ling, who probably would have had the job on Chris Judd, had the shoulder injury, so the captain behind the coach. Judd, by the way, gone forward here, now inside the forward 50 for the Blues. Played the least game time of anyone in the first half. Garlett making the ball sit almost. Corey ran across. Walker held up. Betts, this would be something. No, well done. Well done, Scarlett. Not for the first time tonight. Plays the goalkeeping role.
Bruce, you mentioned Chris Judd forward. I think he's at his most dangerous as a forward, bursting out of the square. I'm not convinced he's got that burst in his legs at the moment with the sore foot.
Mackey, a high ball towards the wing. Off hands, Murphy roving the pack. Some indecision there between a couple of Blues, but Murphy helped out there by a high tackle. Murphy coming up for his 18th possession. Has the football on the wing. Now there's a man on Betts. Nobody near him inside the forward 50. They come to him now, but a long kick could have dragged him up to the footy. As it was, they went short. Ellard's got it from Murphy. Goes across the ground. Gibbs has it. Man on the mark is standing in the middle. Well, just to the side now of the centre circles. Armfield. So a laborious build-up here, but they're still controlling the footy. Simpson back inside. Now Gibbs is a good kick. Needs to go. Ellard is on. Ellard's got the football. Well,
took a lot of precise kicks, though, didn't it? About 4 precise kicks to get them within scoring distance.
That's your line. Mark's right here.
You can just see Ellard just at the top of the right screen there, coming through the middle now. Worked his way through the Geelong zone pretty well.
Take a good kick from here. From about 45-degree angle. Ellard gives it a ride and just slides it across the face.
Just been watching Chris Judd for the last 30 seconds or a minute. He's not totally debilitated, so he can't be on the field, but he's certainly a couple of yards short. He is just hobbling a little bit in his running action.
Selwood from Mackey. Heard the umpire's call, so Selwood forced to go. It's a sweet kick in the end, actually. His field kicking is so impressive. Not quite so sure in front of goal. Enright's kick wide to Scarlett. Scarlett to Mackey, who's worked hard here. Back to Scarlett. Back to Hunt. Normally a long kick, and that's what he does. Dangerous footy. Beats everybody. Armfield and Chapman. Armfield, could he get a handball? He did well. Gets it to Thornton. And then Thornton, Dyken protected the football brilliantly. And now Murphy, who can run. Varco and Murphy, that's a good race. Little kick inside, and again a good mark.
And that's the difference about getting your hands out in the marking contest that Richo and Nick Maxwell were talking about at half-time.
So Walker wide to Scotland.
Scotland down towards right half forward then. Judd comes across on the angle and marks about 55 metres out from goal. Just pops it over the top of the man on the mark, and the mark is taken by Yaron, who was made to earn it, as they say. Old-fashioned jargon. Garron disappointing early. He's had some wonderful games. He's coming up for just his second kick. As I mentioned, a career-high 27 at his last outing, and suddenly back in the hole tonight. Centres this one. They'll come from all directions, or will they? In from the side, O'Halpin up against Ottens. Oh, clever by Walker, like a basketballer. Dribbled it to himself. It goes back to Ottens. And Ottens very keen to force it behind. Gave it to Scarlett like a hot potato, and Scarlett took it across the line.
Just really strong mark there by Andrew Walker, getting his arms out. We've commented a couple of times, Tom Hawkins in that same situation, preferring to take the ball on the chest. But if you get your arms out like that, you can't get the ball spoiled.
So Enright to Milburn. Back to Selwood. Rushed over. Boundary throw in. The Cam's still down there. Cam, what are your thoughts of the early stages of the second half?
Yeah, a bit like the first quarter, Bruce. They really jumped us early, but I think we've just settled down a little bit now. But, you know, Carlton have really got to play the last probably the 5 minutes, so hopefully we can just get back on top.
The Blues have had a good little stretch here. Milburn back, switches it. Chapman, then Chapman. A typical Chappie kick. He got the angle just right, didn't he? And finds Podsiadly. So a long way from home, the Pods. Kicks the ball to about 50 metres. Hawkins and Thornton. So a little victory for Thornton. McLean.
McLean, this needs to be precise, and it's not. Missed by Taylor Hunt, but then did very well to work his way past his rival Scotland. It comes across to Selwood from Bartel. In short, Johnson. Well, it was a much simpler mark than he made it look. What was that?
Just jumped early, really misread the...
This is the free kick, clearly. But Johnson, he just thought there was a defender was right on his back, I think, and tried to body the defender who actually wasn't there.
Well, it was worth probably a 7.5 for artistic merit. We discussed that before as Johnson snaps, but he failed to mark the ball initially. Almost redeemed himself with his snap. Didn't miss by much. He's not far away now, Stevie J. In good form, finding the football in the first half. 2 goals to the major break. Thornton with a short pass, needed to be careful and wise.
And he hasn't kicked multiple goals since the semi-final last year, so on the money, I reckon, Dennis. He's ready to have a big impact, not only with disposals, but on the scoreboard. O'Halpin's shabby kick. Carlton have got to be better than that if they're to beat this team. Enright snaffled it up, got it to Selwood, got it to Kelly. That's not a good kick either. And Jamieson in the back half. So Jamieson out wide. Gee, Garlett looks the most likely, doesn't he? Bad handball. Scotland well played. Gibbs, so much a general Gibbs. Kicks the ball to half forward. And well done, Scarlett.
How good was that?
And just a goal in it. Cats lead it after the Blues made all the early running. Geelong steamed back before half-time and then got to a comfortable 14-point lead early in this half.
Chapman.
No
gap there.
You lifted your arm up and it went up. You lifted your arm up and it went up, mate.
Scarlett coming up, just peeled off his man, got all ball.
It's about now, during about halfway through the third quarter, where the coaches start to think about activating their sub. Wojcinski for the Cats and Robinson for the Blues.
Wojcinski was so good last week too. He's a bit stiff to be where he is. There's Varco, but Christensen had been sort of earning that. His mail was going to this sub. There's the kick from Varco down towards half forward. Clears Johnson on the lead, runs free behind. Russell gets back. Oh, well done, Russell. The much maligned Russell. Well, reaching high was Hunt, knocked it down to his own advantage. Stolen by Ellard, slips a hand pass to Gibbs. Gibbs goes over the top, off the interchange gate there, and coming quickly was Milburn, knocked it away from Tarazzo. Legged was Christensen, advantage will be paid. Milburn goes across the ground. Now let's watch Vardy. Vardy gathers, gives it to Stokes. Stokes sees Podsiadly, puts it in front of him. Podsiadly takes the mark. He can wheel around. Centering kick, beautifully done. Varco, well, he misjudged it completely. It comes to Ottens, back to Varco. What can he do here? He pulls a rubber out of his boot and kicks his 3rd goal. He makes amends.
Well, he's a classy finisher either side. He's such a good move. He's reminds you a lot of Chris Yarran, really. They're just such classy players. When they get the ball in their hands, turn left, turn right. That's a beautiful finish.
He came to the club as a 17-year-old, an underage player, had an injured foot, but what took you straight away was just he just had that innate ability to handle the ball so cleanly, and it's converting into top-notch AFL footy.
Talked a lot about numbers tonight. Mackie with the number 4. The number 5's been a pretty famous number for Geelong over the years too, and doing it proud tonight. So Varco's won 72 out of the 83 matches he's played in. That's right, he's won 72 out of 83. Might be helping Geelong improve his average because he's kicked 3 goals in this quarter. Scotland to Simpson. Carlton have been a resilient team this year. The kick, Murphy did everything but control it. Looked back towards Judd. I like Duncan's game. Well played, Carazzo. Judd, Armfield, back inboard. Simpson, still Simpson, back to Judd. Off a step, wayward kick. Boundary throw-in. He's doing it tough, the champ, isn't he?
Just a bit fumbly around there, the Blues. They were really clean early in the game. Maybe it's the extra pressure the Cats are putting on at the moment. We'd love to see them handle the ball a bit more cleanly around the stoppage.
Ottens knocks it down in front. Scarlett again with wonderful poise. Stokes just dancing on the spot. Out of defence, beautiful kick finds Johnson. Johnson just shy of centre-half back. Looks to the outer side. Podsiadly favoured by the kick. Jamison trying to go back hard, but Podsiadly, hard man to shift. Podsiadly down towards half forward. Deceptive kick. That was clever. Hawkins takes the mark. 75 metres out. Not his best effort. Bartel, though, made it look okay. Podsiadly pops up again. But the kick not so flash that time. Marked by Waite. Deep in his own defence. Play on's the call. McLean coming up for his 12th possession to Yarran.
Had a quiet night. A big second half by Yarran would help. Dangerous ball inside by Digan. Well done, Scotland. Carazzo had to find his way through a maze and then kicks the ball to Jamison. Clever kick. Good bounce. Jamison to turn Podsiadly inside out and then kick the ball to half forward. Cats with the numbers. Scarlett, so good. Hunt, not so good. Back to Garlett. Garlett to full forward. Walker went very high. Does he give a free kick away? No, boundary throwing.
Interesting to look there to see the spoils on screen. Chris Judd's come off. At the same time Chris Judd came off, so did Warnock and Waite. So they actually don't have a tall target to kick to in their forward 50.
And Josh Hunt makes the Blues sometimes their beauties. They're not concealed Blues. No free kickers going to the Blues.
No, it was a leak and over the top of Spoil.
So Murphy will take it, tackled high.
How can you see? You're on the contest master.
Got great vision.
Just in this last couple of minutes of play, they push Yarran back into the back half again. I think that's good coaching, actually. Give him a rest, go in the forward line, break them the tag, but put him back because they need his run off half-back, really, to create their flow.
I think Scarlett's defence was he was too close to it. In comes Murphy, and he kicks the goal. They needed that one.
Well, the Blues. I mean,
they just keep hanging in there after struggling since halfway through the second quarter in general. But they've almost done what Geelong did to them. They've been able to keep the scoreboard ticking over, despite the fact that Geelong have been on top in most parts of the game.
Everybody enjoying the footy here tonight. It's been a terrific match, and Carlton still hanging around, aren't they, by getting the scoreboard to tick. Murphy, an important player, going forward now in the forward 50. Judd in the centre square. Warnock looked at Ottens. Chapman down to Kelly. Well done, Ellard. Terrific stuff.
Free kick, Carlton. The tackle on Kelly. Free kick to Carlton. The tackle on Kelly. The tackle on Kelly.
So should be Ellard.
Sorry, for holding the ball?
Yes.
For holding the ball?
Yes, threw it out.
The umpire
Give it to Scotland.
away from the play paid that free kick.
He's Scotland. He's Scotland.
I thought the tackler just knocked the ball out.
Back here,
And I think the tackler was Ella, but so let's have a look.
That one.
Anyway, Scotland to bang it forward. Wait!
Oh! Yes, Andrew Walker. No. 50.
Oh, and a 50.
So Waite takes a specky, Walker gets the free and gets the 50 and scores a level.
Bit of history there between the umpire and Matthew Scarlett.
Yeah.
There's an interesting exchange as before. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with the tone of the umpire talking to players like that, but when you do talk back to an umpire, you never win. I guarantee you'll never win, and if there's a decision where it might go against you, they'll pull the trigger and get done every time.
Well, it's clear we didn't like him last time around, wasn't it?
It seemed the case like that, Dennis, yeah.
So just saw how dangerous Waite can be too with a high ball forward.
That's the free for the hold around the waist. We know that. It was the next bit of abuse or whatever the umpire paid gave make it a certain goal.
Richard.
Now that's shaping as the match-winning duel, Taylor and Waite. But Tom Hawkins was a loose man behind the ball there. Needed to have more of an impact at that contest.
Meanwhile, back at the game, here's a chance for Ottens. Dimes after the football, and it's not coming out.
That's got hands on it. He didn't mark it.
Scores our level. 5 minutes out from three-quarter time.
Thanks, Brad. Brad.
So, did we take that to mean that both subs have been activated suddenly?
McLean's off now and Robinson's on for the Blues.
Vardy for Wojcicki.
Yeah, and Wojcicki for Vardy, Dennis.
Okay, when did that happen, Bruce?
In the last 30 seconds.
Oh, good, Bruce. I thought I'd missed it for a moment. Boundary throw and outside the 50.
It's one part of the game. You do enjoy the substitution activation, Dennis.
He doesn't. Tossed in, knocked down by Hawkins. Gibbs goes after it, close to the boundary line. Selwood, well played Gibbs, just getting a hand in there. And out of bounds it goes.
You've never missed a moment in your life, Dennis. You're onto it. So Vardy off, Wojcicki on. So Wojcicki, Robinson, two impact-type players, aren't they? Let's see if they can have an impact in this game. The Blues have done a good job here. Scotland, well, that's a poor kick.
Oh.
Duncan missed it. He made it much harder than it really was. I think he was looking for the extra points there. And there's Robinson completely involved. Gibbs ducking down low. Christensen, well done. And Scotland just got rid of Jono. And Judd's handball was a beauty. To Betts, to Dygan, to Simpson. They're rolling the Blues. Scotland to Murphy down low. Good build-up. Bad kick. He had two options. And Taylor and Bartel mess it up. In the end, they didn't mess it up, but the Cats did it away. Help me, Dennis.
A couple of chances there both ways, Bruce. It comes eventually to Christensen. Lays it off to Bartel. Too slow. Garlett got him, came from nowhere, Garlett.
I think Garlett makes a lot of people look slow, doesn't he?
That's as exciting 90 seconds of football that we've seen all season.
Russell, good grab. Lays it off Murphy. Walker, can he get another? Runs inside the 50. It's bending back. It hit the fat bit.
That was great.
With that speed.
Short one comes to Enright, and suddenly, just for a moment, some respite. It's a well-weighted kick. Will it get to Taylor? Must get a free... What? No free kick. Well, I'm at a loss, Bruce.
See what's happened, Dennis?
What's happened, Bruce?
Carlton's in front.
Did I forget to mention that?
No. The Blues have clawed their way back here.
That's good.
Podsiadly up the ground at the moment, taking Jamison with him. He's had a lot of ball on centre wing. Wojcicki held up.
Carlton. Next comment.
Why wasn't that a free kick to Harry Taylor moments ago? Anybody?
Not sure. So Podsiadly.
Of course, the umpire didn't blow his whistle.
Always pragmatic.
The voice of
Always
reason.
pragmatic.
Don't know why he didn't blow his whistle. All I know is he didn't blow his whistle.
Yeah,
That was probably a free, wasn't it?
well played, Chapman. Read it beautifully. Looks up. Kicks to centre-half forward. Otten's playing forward. Stokes at the back. Great tackle by Yaron. Brilliant.
No prior opportunity. No prior opportunity. He's taken possession a couple of steps and you've tackled him. Thanks, mate.
I think that's a good enough decision, but Yaron could just do with a break, couldn't he?
Yep.
He could just do with a break to get a free, easy kick.
What a brilliant illustration. Garlett and Yaron in the last minute, their ability to run players down.
Otten's had it, then lost it. Stokes again. Had enough of it. Stokes doesn't want it for the next 30 seconds.
I mean, free
He's
kick
tackled
Geelong.
again.
There's no need, all right? Free kick Geelong.
I think that was an abuse free kick.
Oh, no. Well, I got to say, I thought that if you had the footy and you tried to kick it and you missed, it was holding the ball.
Thanks, guys.
And Stokes
Sorry?
seemed to fit that.
For abuse. There it is there.
So this is interesting from the umpires in the last 5 minutes.
1-1, I think the count is.
Now, this is a big one, though, isn't it? Stokes directly in front, hurts the Blues, puts it through.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't an abuse free kick, I think.
Yeah.
I think Daigan actually made a comment to the umpire. The umpire didn't like it, so paid a free kick.
I mean, a lot of the punters will think it's Ticky Touchwood, but it's pretty black and white. You know that you can't say anything back to the umpires derogatory. They do a great job, and you get penalised for it.
He's had it, then lost it. Stokes again.
Hey, just relax, all right? Free kick Geelong. There's no need, all right? Free kick Geelong. No need.
So that's the explanation. So a big penalty Daigan pays, and so do the Blues. Murphy out of the centre to half forward. Taylor couldn't quite. Mackie on the left. What a magnificent quarter of footy it's been. Murphy very busy, slow Scotland. Well, he did well in the end to accelerate to Robinson. How did he find that footy? And how did Warnock get down that low? It's pretty hard at his height. Wojcinski, so both the subs getting involved. Hawkins rode the tackle all right. Handball out. Varco's kicked 3 in this quarter. High tackle, gets it to Selwood. Could Joel go all the way? 50 metres out. Behind. So just Cam, we just saw a 50-metre penalty or a free kick. Because just how hard is it to hold your tongue when the pressure's right on?
Well, as you know, mate, my record's not too great with them, so it is quite hard. Darren Milburn finds it a little bit hard as well, and a little bit surprised there with Scarlett. He's usually pretty good with it.
Well, it's 1-1, as Dennis said, with Scarlett and Daigan a moment ago.
There's Chapman, headed by Hawkins. Floats it towards the pocket. Laidler heads for the boundary line. It's out. So Joel Selwood now up to a game-high 26 possessions. Just one behind him is Mark Murphy. And I would imagine the 3 Brownlow votes could go to one of those guys whose ever team wins. Selwood probably got them last week. He's in rare form. Christensen trying to feed it back. Daigan trying to make amends. Stolen away by Kelly with the outside of the boot. James Kelly missed by quite a margin.
Really good test here for young Daigan. Well, he's not so young, but he's young in terms of games experience. Gave away the 50-metre penalty. He'd be really keen to set a tone. Bit of a turnover there. So a good test in his early in his career.
So big minute here. Blues can't afford to cough up a late goal here. They've done well to stay in touch. Geelong has thrown a lot at them in this term. Warnock and Hawkins. Well played by, I think, Carazzo it was. And then O'Halpin squeezes to centre wing. Was that off the boot boundary throw in? Carazzo picks himself up. Just a finger in the eye, I think. Oh, yeah, just a little slap in the face. So Warnock. Hawkins hanging on. Kelly tries to break Scotland.
High fend off! High fend off! Yours, Heath. High fend off, Heath, Scotland. No, Heath, Scotland. Heath, Scotland. Heath, Scotland. Time on. Play on.
So can the Blues push forward here? They're defending at the moment, taking their time to get the ball forward. Now here's an opportunity. Has Thornton got enough on the kick? Walker has kicked a couple of goals in this quarter. One little hope here, probably not now. Back inside. So Geelong with a Varco burst at the start of this term give themselves a 7-point lead at three-quarter time. Both teams have been very good in the final quarters this year.
It's an exciting State League knockout competition. 16 teams from all over the country competing to be number one. And a breeding ground for the AFL.
And kicks a beauty!
The Foxtel Cup, only on Fox Sports, Australia's sports leader.
It's always really good when the customer comes through the checkout and they're just blown away by how much they've got for what they've spent. They've saved so much, their dollar's gone that much further.
Halogen globes, 5 for $11. 4-litre Taubman's Endure interior paint, $63.90. Makita circular saw, $138. Home light blower vac, $59.90. Hand saw, just $9.96.
We pass the savings on to you.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Get bigger, harder, and stronger with the all-new, powerful Tower 200. You got a door, you got a gym. You get up to 200 pounds of explosive resistance and over 200 killer exercises that push your muscles to the max. No dumbbells, no machines, no memberships. Check out the mother of all workouts and our 11-minute body shredding routine. The Tower 200 fits on any door in the house, office, or dorm.
Call Global Shop Direct now or go online and you can try out the Tower 200 workout system on our exclusive risk-free in-home trial for 30 days from just $19.95 postage and handling. The results will amaze you and will just charge the balance to your credit card at the end of the trial period in 5 easy payments of $39.99 or a total of $199.95. Order now and we'll include 4 additional power-packed workouts. That's everything you need to succeed. The Tower 200, full workout DVD, 2 door charts, exercise manual, ankle straps and hand grips. And if you're not convinced, send it back within the trial period, then pay no more. Don't delay. Order now.
Form may fluctuate, but the fire never fades. On Super Saturday, the Tigers take on the Panthers.
It's a derby to die for.
And the Panthers and the Tigers are alive. Saturday from 4, live Fox Sports.
Friday night continues to turn it on for us. Another thriller. The Cats up by 7 points. They kicked away to lead by 14 early in that third quarter, but Carlton came storming back. It's 12-11 to 11-10. Richo is standing by with Brenton Sanderson.
Well, Sando, it's been a tough, hard battle all night, ebbs and flows. Do you think the game will open up at all?
Yeah, I think it will. I think obviously the pattern of play all this season's been late in games. Obviously the last quarter the game will open up a little bit, so it's where we've been really strong. We've scored really well in the last quarter of games this season, so hopefully that's the case again tonight.
It has been a strength for you guys this year. What's the most important thing you got to do to win this quarter?
I know every coach mentions it, but contested ball. I mean, they smashed us in the first quarter. They looked really dangerous when we were second to the footy. I think since quarter time we've been a lot better with our method around the ball. It just seems to be working for us.
And Chris Judd looks to be carrying an injury. That probably helps you guys not having him in the bounces there.
Yeah, we're going to try and rotate some fresh players through him as much as we can. We can see that he's hobbling around a little bit, so a bit of a, I guess, a plan for us to try and put fresh players through him where we can.
Thanks, Sando.
No worries, Richo.
As I mentioned earlier, yeah, thanks, Richo. We saw Geelong get out to that 14-point lead early in the third term, thanks mainly to Travis Varco. Those early goals, he was in stellar form.
He was. He kicked 3 goals in that quarter. 3 goals straight too. He's all class. He kicked 1 on the run here. You're going to see 1 that's a mark and then 1 as a snap. So he's doing it all for Geelong.
You would think with he and Johnson in form, you'd like them from here, but momentum shifted late in that term.
Yeah, exactly right. Carlton sticks with Geelong. At the moment, Geelong really, they're on top of them, but Carlton just, they're hanging in there. They're hanging in there, so we're hoping they can stay with them.
We saw Brock McLean there, subbed out of the game. Are you surprised given Judd's fitness at the moment?
Nah, it takes a quality player to stay with Judd, injured or not, so I think that, to throw him forward, he's going to get a lot of respect there too.
So are Carlton going to limp with Juddy to 4 points?
Let's see.
Okay, we're about to find out. Here's Bruce.
Don't often getting a Collingwood captain barracking for Carlton, but of course if the Blues can win tonight, the Pies will go back on top if they can beat the Crows on the weekend. Great to have Nick back playing for Collingwood too on Sunday. So interesting stuff with Richo, wasn't it, and Sando with Judd and the tactics they'll use. Big roar, close to 50,000, been a magnificent match. Warnock, Robinson, bad handball. Gets back though, probably should have won a free kick. and then got turned. Kelly so good in close. Diagon, Corey, switches a handball, the spread on Wojcinski and Murphy. Wojcinski to Chapman. Carazzo, Murphy, good tackle. He's been terrific, Murphy.
He has.
Tackle him early, balls ping.
We've seen Chris Judd lift Carlton up from sort of really difficult situations. Mark Murphy's probably going to have to be the one tonight. He's played a fantastic game. Now can he really find another gear in this final deciding term?
Ottens lays it down. Corey couldn't quite. Kelly kicks to about 20 metres. Yaron belts it away. Ball in dispute. Well done, Gibbs. Laidler slow to react. He had to get the ball away. Nowhere to kick it to. Kicked the ball as far as he could without it going out, obviously. Duncan back to Chapman. And Chapman, I think, pretty happy. The umpire not sure here.
Should I blame my whistle before you do your whistle? Okay, throw it in.
Got away with one there. Paul Chapman clearly took on the second tackler, but obviously got to the boundary line.
Ottens, Warnock, Kelly again in this quarter to Chapman. Takes them on, Chappie, hard man to tackle. We've known that for a while. Brilliant down low, Bartel, Wojcinski, and Varco has just missed. What about Bartel's take and handball on the
Fantastic. And Kelly's clearances, he's had 11 clearances, Kelly. He's been terrific at taking the ball clear from those stoppages.
18 contested possessions also for James Kelly.
Game, isn't it?
24, yeah, outstanding.
So again, Carlton asked a big question here by the Cats. Carazzo, does he get a kick away? He does, but it's well, it just eluded Milburn. Enright, Judd Milburn, back to Enright, back to Kelly again. Now Kelly to Hunt, lovely left foot. Chapman up and about in the last quarter. And then Chapman, lovely kick. Couldn't quite hold on to it though, Podsiadly. Jamison, Stokes, finds some time and space, Stokes, and then kicks the ball to about 15, 10 metres in the end. Yaron, oh, Varco, brilliant. Bartel, back to Varco. Just miscued. And Gibbs able to cut it off. So Geelong have had a couple of chances here to stretch the lead.
Just need a couple of cool heads from Carlton. Just get back the tempo. Now we've gone Gibbs to Murphy to Judd. They're the three prime movers for the Blues.
They are number one to the bloke that's always been number one. And now Scotland.
But was number 3.
He was. And it was a good number 1 with Hodgie as well. So Scotland, he had the most disposals to three-quarter time with 27.
Ottens, big fist over the top. Murphy cleverly. Garlett looking inside, nothing on. Pulls it back towards the attacking 50. In from the side, terrific grab Enright.
Hey, Jordan Hall!
What a fine defender he is. Just pops it over the top. Well, sure to fix him. Mark is taken by Simpson, going back with the flight of the ball. A little too casual there. Simpson had a pretty good night tonight. Right on the wing at the interchange gates. He goes down towards the attacking 50. Milburn sets himself, knocked away by O'Halpin. Runs to number 4. Grabbed there by Mackey. Straight to 34. Diagon looks inside the 50. Sets it up. Wants something of weight down there. He's opposed to 3 Cats. It falls at their feet. Falling over the football, Warnock. Warnock was cast in the role of a rover there, which, fair to say, didn't suit him.
See the odd big defender who hasn't got confidence, like just try and punch when the ball's in the air when they can get 2 hands on it. Not the Geelong big defenders. If they can get 2 hands at the footy, they go for the mark.
Warnock and Ottens. Warnock wins the tap back. Ellard. Back it comes from Walker to Waite to Russell. And then Russell. Oh, chance here. Geez, suddenly it opened up for Betts and the ball eluded him with the bounce.
Thought it came off his foot.
Russell kicked a very big goal against the Crows when they started this winning streak. Is that a mark? No.
Over anxious. He's got to be careful when the teammate's over the footy, just not to be over anxious and jump on him. That was a chance for holding the ball that went begging for Carlton.
Christensen short. Corey, nice. Chapman away, kicks inside the forward 50. Laidler intent on front position, overcommitted. Stokes gets behind him, running goalward. Well done, Laidler. Now that's holding the ball.
He's played a great game, Jeremy Laidler. Started on Tom Hawkins, was outsized, but looks far more confident on the smaller player, and a terrific run down chase.
Yeah, edged under the football. Not willing to work his way back into it. Thornton comes to Scotland, to Simpson. He's on the wing. Close to the boundary line, Simpson. Again looking to set it up this time for O'Halpin. Didn't make a very good fest of it. Judd, oh, brilliant gather by the champ. Goes with the left boot. How does he manage this? It's supernatural.
Ride him off at your own peril.
I was about to say about 2 minutes ago, even Chris Judd can't play when he can only run 80%. Because he is only running 80%. But just at least on that occasion, he ran onto the footy in a fantastic left foot finish.
How's that? The one-hand pick up on the left, which you'd assume is his non-preferred. Drops it down sweetly on his left foot, which is definitely his non-preferred, and straight through the middle. That is textbook.
Somebody said to you, how does Chris Judd play the game? You'd love to play that bit of footage, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Not only is he the captain, he's the spiritual leader as well.
Well, success is where opportunity meets preparation. I mean, he had the opportunity and just knew how to finish.
What a moment in this match that might turn out to be. The wounded skipper against the odds.
Oh, this will be holding the ball.
I feel like the Cats had a chance early in this quarter, didn't you? And they didn't quite take it. And now maybe it's the Blues' turn. Carazzo back to a one-point game. Kicks the ball to centre-half forward. Ellard drops it down. Walker.
It's interesting what Brett Ratton said early in the game that the Geelong defence takes 17 marks a game, like contested type marks. And they've tried that. At least that's the one part of the game Carlton have really stopped them doing.
Got to ask you, Dennis, have you got that feeling?
Had it at half-time, Bruce, when the scores were level. Still there. Corey goes to the outer side. Awkward bouncing football. Yaron stayed on his feet. Varco went to ground. Yaron finds Russell. I think his parents think his given names are much maligned. Russell kicks inside the forward 50. Oh!
That's a jump.
Hung for an eternity. Judd, no way through. It's like a forward pack there. Walker tries to lend a little muscle after this effort.
I reckon his first game he had a launch like that and
marked it.
Provides a real focal point for them up forward at the moment.
O'Halpin and Hawkins. Murphy. Still Murphy. Got it way through, but held up. And Milburn and Walker boundary throw in.
One free kick.
Came off the top of the knee, top of the knee, top of the knee. Go through, Jay, go through. Go through, Jay, to throw in.
So, heard the explanation. Selwood wounded for the moment, top of the knee.
The way Wade and Walker have launched themselves with the footy, I mean, if you can't mark it, make sure you defend it. The opposition defenders can't. I mean, that's just been fantastic the way Carlton have done it.
Gio Halpin was good to Judd, to Simpson. What a beautifully constructed forward move there. The attack by the Irishman to the champion.
Has there been a player who takes his side on his back more than Chris Judd?
I think Wayne Carey certainly did for the Kangaroos. There's no question about that. Jonathan Brown's done it a bit for the Lions.
We're searching for rare examples, aren't we? Because he certainly does it.
I think Lee
so many
Matthews
times.
Too. Just quietly.
Oh, thanks, Dennis.
So
He's got a good memory.
Simpson's kicked two. Could he kick a third and put the Blues in front? You betcha!
And the crowd really starting to get involved. Before the game, it was obviously all about Bobby Davis, and we probably forgot the fact it was a Carlton home game. There's certainly more Carlton supporters here, and really getting behind. And you see Chris Judd getting a ruffle on the head from Cade Simpson. Just his work around the stoppage, his vision to see. Simpson didn't blaze away like a lot of players would. Dropped his vision, lowered the eyes, pinpoint pass on the right foot.
There's Simpson. He's very happy with that, as were the Carlton supporters. It's getting so loud down here. But in this second half, Bryce Gibbs has done a huge job on Steve Johnson, who's just come off the ground. If they win, Bryce Gibbs, you can stand up.
Wojcinski knocked it down. Joel Corey dragged down. Ellard did well. Robinson, Scotland. Out wide. Carazzo right at the interchange gates. Looks inside. Nothing on. Comes back and kicks it along the boundary. Target is Walker. Clears he and Milburn. Goes behind. Josh Hunt slips a hand pass away to Mackie, to Kelly. We'll go to Varco. Varco on the outer side. Chapman is on the burst. Hawkins wants it longer, but then both those leads fizzle out. He goes short. Enright, halfway to the men I was talking about, takes the mark. Hawkins offers. That's an untidy kick. It bounces down inside the forward 50. Podsiadly got a hand to it. Stolen away by the brilliant Murphy.
One forward. Murphy up to 28 possessions now. Here's Russell again. Generally uses it well. This one no exception. The Waits.
Garlett was free and Kelly had to push back. Now, the role for Garlett would be to work Kelly over. James Kelly had to push really hard defensively and spend some petrol tickets. Can work him over as a forward here.
Not sure about going from wing to halfback.
Thornton to the wing again, and it's going to be a free kick, and it's going, I think, to Russell.
Back where Wade was a couple of kicks ago and a free kick. I always think if you're on the middle of the ground and your kick is going to go into deep into your forward half, that's the place you should be thinking of going rather than conceding game backwards.
And that's what Russell does this time. Warnock, big fly, Enright at the back. Well done, Enright, to Milburn, and then Milburn off a step, keeps the ball in. Scarlett and Waite. Waite's been good, hasn't he?
He's been good.
He's a terrific one-on-one mark to Laidler. Gee, he's going to be pleased that the Blues can win tonight. An ex-captain, he's done a terrific job. Back he goes. Russell. So a slowish build-up, but Carlton at the moment just controlling it, aren't they? It's been a match of ebbs and flows. Again short.
It's important for Carlton to realise the position of the game they're at. They've got control of the game. They haven't broken Geelong, obviously. It's still very close, but need to convert.
Thornton to a pack. Waite and Warnock there. Hunt tried to get through. Harry Taylor held up. Carlton swarm. Boundary throw in Richo.
They certainly are controlling the play. 20 marks to 6 this quarter. We know they love doing that. But Joel Selwood, sitting on the bench there, has not had a touch this quarter. He's had a huge match up to three-quarter time. Cats need him back on.
That's right. He won't get one there. Murphy miscues with a kick. It wanders across half forward, taken by Scotland. Back to Dygan. Dygan, well, that needed to be precise. It spills to Armfield, who creates his own space. Goes long, it's bending back. Hit the post halfway up. Wow. That would have been so big for the boy from Swan Districts.
It's been a wonderful go of ebbs and flows, hasn't it? I mean, there's just been a up. One side's looked like they were in control and the other side brings it back.
5 posters tonight, 3 to the Blues and 2 to the Cats.
Well, we heard from Cats assistant coach Brenton Sanderson at three-quarter time and preempting the fact that the game will slow down.
How big would this be for the Blues? It's been 10 years since they've beaten a team top of the table. If they can do it tonight, it's a sort of match that can really launch a season off, can't you?
And also 10 years since they won a final.
So Warnock's kick. Walker the target with Waite almost at the back. And now, is that Robinson across the face? Yep. Armfield chasing, boundary throw-in.
Look really dangerous, don't they? Waite and Walker, just the way they're launching at the ball, providing a really strong, tall option for them.
Boundary throw in then. Warnock, as he held, Otten's won it down. Christensen, he's been good. Releases Varco, pretty good after half-time, certainly early in that third term. Stokes, Wojcinski can't get away, run down from behind, fumble from Hawkins. Laidler into the arms of Hawkins, he's going nowhere. And the ball up. Well, right now you would imagine the AFL would be salivating. They've got Collingwood up there, Essendon up there, and now Carlton stamping their own credentials if they can win this on Friday night footy.
Just saw all the key performance indicators down there. Disposals, contested possessions, clearances inside 50, all in Carlton's favour. Really just need to convert.
Wow, everybody stopped. Christensen took off, kicks inside the forward 50. Podsiadly was up, fisted away by Jamison. He'll kick this Chapman. He loves this situation. Wheels around, Cats are back in front. Oh, it's all square.
Yes, as soon as the ball landed in Chapman's hands, you sort of thought, this is going to be a goal. The ball went to him. He had about a step and a half on his Carlton opponent, and he turns in such a small circle. and he's actually got such strength on his hips. You know that even if the tackler has got an arm on him, he'll be able to finish from that 30 metres out in front. Although the groin might have been a little bit sore from that effort.
Premature revelation, I think, Bruce. Scores a level.
And no one picks a level score than you, Dennis. Cam Mooney, we've seen Chappie do that so often. As a cat right now, what do you need to win the match?
I think right now, Bruce, just need to start kicking the ball in the forward line a little bit quicker at the moment. We're just losing control of the game. We need our leaders to really step up here and do that for us.
Let's see how it unfolds. Johnson, terrific first 3 quarters. Gibbs did well. Down low. Gibbs did a great job there.
Played that well. Took on 2 of them, didn't give away the free kick.
Has he elevated himself? I think everyone's identified Bryce Gibbs as an elite ball user, but some of the defensive roles he's done, Brendan Goddard springs to mind. And as Richo said, Steve Johnson in the latter part of this game.
He had good Zen Goddard in his last 2 matches. GG, they're good, aren't they? So Hawkins wins the tap. Christensen liked his game. Gibbs free kick.
Bryce Gibbs. Stay there, stay out.
So Gibbs. Gee, that's a good kick, wasn't it? What vision.
He was just there, you
A little lucky he didn't get away.
So Scotland on the up. Well done, gets around, runs his measure, goes with a long one. Waite gets ready. Oh, couldn't quite. Milburn, Garlett, Taylor Hunt, got to be careful. Ball hasn't quite come out. And then in the snapshot, is it a goal? It's Walker, I think. He likes to kick a winning goal. It's a behind. Blues back in front.
Get your own lines, Bruce. 91 to 90.
By the way, who doesn't like to kick a winning goal? It's a silly statement, I know.
Well, some more than others. Oh, Halpin. Terrific grab. That was wonderful by Walker moments ago, just to find the footy in there. It was frenetic.
Important. Halpin doesn't overplay it, plays basic.
Oh, delusions of grandeur, O'Halpin. Perhaps of adequacy. He kicks inside the forward 50, getting a fist on it in right. Roving the pack, Armfield tries to clatter his way through. Selwood gave it to Mackey, Duncan, Kelly. Now an opportunity. Wojcinski comes out to Christensen. There's nobody up ahead. Has to go back looking for Wojcinski. Stolen by Dygan. Flicked over the top there by Carazzo. Gave it to Robinson. Robinson goes short and finds Armfield. He's 65 metres out from goal. His side up by a point. Waite offers and then pulls back. Play-on's the call. Armfield goes for distance. They've got some tall timber. Warnock in front. Hands to it, couldn't hang on. Roving the pack, it's taken there by Enright to Hunt. Does a little U-turn, then throws it in reverse. Behind.
No, let's come on.
92 plays 90.
Oh, dangerous kick for Chapman Mark. So Carlton by 2 points. Bartel, normally good in a crisis. To Corey, how good he was last week. How good he's been for so long. Stokes, it suddenly opens up. Johnson's all on his own.
Good play.
Great mark.
Great mark. It was great play by Gibbs because he was in the. He had no chance. He just put his eyes on the footy, tried to mark him, which is all he could do. Otherwise, it would have been an automatic free kick. But Johnson was a strong mark anyway.
Bartel, Corey, Johnson.
We saw about 5 minutes ago, I think it was Corey and Selwood on the bench, so clearly Chris Scott rotating his mids.
This has been his Achilles heel this year. He's kicked 3, Stevie J. And the Cats are back in front.
That's their in the parts of the game where Carlton have been in relative control and the ball's been largely stuck in their forward half. It's that Geelong's ability to still link up around the middle of the ground and actually sort of be able to run the ball through the middle and then out-position the Carlton defence for that final player in their forward 50. That's one thing they do just terrifically well.
Lee mentioned just before the break, Bryce Gibbs actually couldn't have played that any better. Turned his body with the ball, but strong mark from Steve Johnson. Got the goal. That's the one he's been missing earlier so far this year, so good one for the Cats.
After the bounce, Duncan immediately taken by a couple of Blues. Geelong by 4 points. Close to 50,000. Knocked down by Ottens. There's the official attendance. I think it may have just been one of the members' areas that was deficient. Otherwise, they could have given the record a shake tonight. Free kickers go to Chapman. Plays on immediately to Mackey. Punishing kick inside the forward 50. Oh, terrific, Podsiadly. Podsiadly, fourth man in the queue, launched himself at that one.
He's a good defender, Jamison. But Podsiadly, when he jumps, he really gets that full extension of his arms, takes the ball and really at its highest point there. Let's have a look at it. Just went up with it. That's fantastic vision, but he just couldn't get his fist through the footy, Jamison.
Biggest kick of the night so far. To make it 10 points. Podsiadly. Trying to work it back, and he's got it. Geelong answer the challenge. Moments ago, they were on their knees.
Really interesting battle, that one between Podsiadly and Jamison, I think. Podsiadly with the first goal there, just the 7 kicks. Jamison's really developed into an elite defender, and he's spot on, Lee. That was fantastic vision when you just take the ball at the highest point, eliminate the options from the defender.
I had a chance to talk to Brett Ratton today. One of the things he said big forwards late in matches with the sub rule have become more important. Now, Jamison's energy levels there were fantastic. Nothing wrong there, but he quoted Cloak and Dawes and these blokes in fourth quarters. And there, Podsiadly, a good example. His first goal, but as Dennis said, the biggest kick of the match so far. If Carlton got a little bit left in them, they have been magnificent tonight. But Geelong have answered everything so far. Simpson inside. Betts. Oh, Judd couldn't do it again. No, he kicks the ball to the pocket. Diagon couldn't hold it. Rather, O'Halpin. Mackey. Betts got a finger on it. Simpson crashing through. Chapman's had a good last quarter. Hunt. Wojcinski. Neither of the subs have had a big impact. And a good tackle from Laidler. Trainers coming out left, right and centre.
Top one in the head did Taylor Hunt right there.
Ooh. He took the gap here. Simpson just went straight through the gap. That was really strong play. Hunt was the recipient of his momentum.
Another marvellous game on a Friday night. 10 points the difference. Warnock could have almost got a free there. Corey, to no one in particular. And the bounce it around was Russell. Selwood gave it off. Kelly came back to Enright. Floats it up towards the wing. Knocked away from Johnson. Recovers brilliantly. The old look away hand pass if you don't mind. Selwood trying to knock it forward. Did enough. Christensen inside the forward 50. Oh, wonderful stuff by Diagon. Just stepping in front of his opponent there, Varco, and taking the mark. He's virtually extinguished the fire from Varco. Karadza, little short in ideas right here. Kicks towards the wing. Oh, too easy. Thornton takes the mark, plays on immediately. Robinson.
Now Betts with a chance here. Mackey getting back. Taylor, Betts cleverly done. Wait, yes, wait for it. Why have Carlton a better side? I reckon Diagon and Laidler's a big part of it.
No doubt.
It was Carlton's ability to take the game on from half back. Diagon took the contested mark, which got the intercept back from Geelong, but took the game on. They have to go out and win the game. They're obviously still 4 points behind. See the play on here. It was Robinson on this occasion, but took the risk, got going. Eddie Betts played the situation really well off Andrew Mackey and got ahead. It's all about work rate now. You've just got to win the contest. The players are tired. Put your head over the ball and go.
Particularly these centre-bounce. These centre-bounce contests are so critical because that's the one time you can get it into a forward line where the defence are at least one-on-one. They're not zoning off, dropping back into space.
Rucks go at it. Warnock knocks it down. High tackle on Murphy. Gets the free kick. Plays on immediately. Walker. Scotland, who's a good kick. Goes inside the forward 50. Perfect kick. Waite's taken the mark. Completely different goal, if he is to kick a goal right here, than the last one. Outside of the bit in the goal square. Now from long range. Can he do it all? Sends it long. He can do it all. No. Touched right on the line by Milburn. The hand of experience.
Should have had a few more players on the line, Carlton, to make sure that the defender couldn't really jump unopposed, but might have created the goal.
Stokes' a slow kick. That's a great mark, Enright. So the Cats on Friday nights, they beat the Saints by a point. They beat Collingwood by 3. And they're sitting on a 3-point lead at the moment. Podsiadly, not quite. Jamieson and Scotland. I've just got to get this in, and maybe... I'll get it in a minute. Scotland building forward. Judd bursting, can't quite. Quick kick away by Milburn. Dygan, still Dygan. Awkward handball. Dygan again. Can they open it up? Russell. Murphy's quick, we know that. Looks up, kicks the ball to half-forward. Wade. Beautiful hands. Held up. 1 of 50. Called to play on. And then Wade. Lovely stuff.
He's played well today, Wade.
I'll tell you what the sub-rule's done. It's brought back the winning of the contest late in quarters, how important, but also the people who can use the ball.
Oh, yeah. You get a little bit more time and space, don't you? So you've got to be able to use that.
Waite and Walker are a good double act right now, aren't they?
Yep.
Walker's kicked 2, Waite's kicked 2. They've been the most likely, haven't they?
Oh,
not a good kick. Warnock, almost.
High tackle. Warnock's free. Warnock is fine. You could just see the space, couldn't you, between the floating ball and Warnock.
Yes, I have, mate. Too high.
Warnock's 200 centimetres, and I guess the high tackle is the only thing really that stopped him taking the mark.
The ball dropped, no dispute there. Yep. Enright, the right arm over the shoulder, but Leith's right, the ball just dropped short. Warnock had the clear run at it. Desperation effort.
Just hope he's fit to take it. He's going to take it, but just hope he's shaking off the cobwebs, eh?
They're pretty high up, those cobwebs.
Now that's the danger. And the interesting thing was the man closest was Garlick. Enright's kick not particularly good. Hasn't Scotland played a game? Generally does.
Don't think he's quite got the length.
55 metres out, sets it up again. Where's the big guy? Nowhere to be seen. In front, guess who? Scarlett on his chest, and we're down to the last minute. Now, just needs to find a teammate. Watch Harry, number 7. He's wanting some space there.
Where Carlton have to lock it in, don't allow the loose.
Well, Scarlett's gone for distance to a contest. Taken by Duncan, pushed off it. Kelly slips a hand pass away. Corey. Now it's 1-on-1. Scotland is coming back as the extra man. Up is Podsiadly, takes possession, slips it away, still trying to soccer it forward. Down to 29 seconds. Gibbs, oblivious to that, goes after the football. Wedged out of there by Johnson. Clock stops at 22. Well, it can't be a draw, Bruce.
Both sides runners running out. They'll tell exactly how long to go. 22 seconds. The Geelong runner be right at that stoppage, explicitly telling the players.
Remember, the Cats have won Friday night footy by a point and 3 points so far this year. They lead by 2 right now. Seconds ticking away. Carlton 1, last roll of the dice. Scarlett. Fair dinkum, unbelievable, you betcha. That was the match we had tonight. Just another great Friday night match. It really was.
It's a part of the TV rights that we get fantastic Friday night games because we just keep getting them week after week.
So Geelong, every time they've been 8-0, they make the grand final. That's where they are now. Down to you, Richo.
Well, Andrew, massive win for Bobby Davis tonight. The crowd's loving it. What does it mean?
Mate, it means everything. It really does. We saw a pretty emotional DVD before the game, and you know, I suppose once you've had a look during the week at all the stuff on TV and what's been spoken about him, it just means everything to do this tonight for him, and this is definitely for him.
Would have taken a lot of energy out of the class this week. A huge week for everyone involved.
Yeah, mate, it was. I suppose it was the least we could do, you know, for a guy who does everything for the footy club, and you know, we've just seen over the week what he meant to this club and everything, and that was the least we could do is win tonight.
He must be very honoured to have his old number on tonight.
Mate, always have been and always will be, and that's for sure. Yeah, I love it.
Well done, Andrew.
Great respect there, eh? What's been in the past and what will always be at the club. Tell you what, Carlton have gained some ground again tonight, I think, even in defeat.
I'll say. Yeah, they're a very solid team, and you've said it during the call, Bruce, that Dygan and Laidley have just fitted in really well to give that defence stability.
Yep.
And Geelong got them every now and again because Geelong are a classy team, but they have got a bit of strength about them, no doubt.
Let's go down to Richo.
Well, Chappie, you've had some big games on Friday night this year, another close one.
Yeah, it was, and we knew it was going to be exactly like that too. They've had a good start to the year, the Blues, and we knew they'd come out hard. And unfortunately, we didn't come out and match them early, and it made the rest of the day hard for, or the night hard for us. So, look, we plugged away at it and come out with a win, and it was good by the boys.
They are an improved opposition, though, the Blues. They've stepped it up this year.
Most definitely. I mean, their pressure and, you know, they got some blokes who work hard both ways, and they're very damaging when they got the ball in their hands and running forward.
Joel Selwood, again, the first 3 quarters was outstanding.
Amazing. He just never stops. He in and under, and he Mr. Reliable for us.
Do you reckon he'll Twitter something after the game?
No doubt. He loves it.
He's on there every day.
He is.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Richard.
Nice work, Richard. Well, Tom, a few weeks back we were thinking perhaps it was hard to find someone to rival Collingwood. Well, in the last 7 days, the contenders are coming out of the woodwork.
You hit the nail on the head during the call, Dennis, when you mentioned, obviously, Collingwood are up and about. Carlton are certainly thereabouts. Essendon too, and Geelong probably rounding out the top 4 sides at the moment. So it's a really exciting stage of the competition. It's starting to take shape.
Absolute thriller. Geelong win on Friday Night Football here at Etihad Stadium. They remain undefeated, but only just. Last gasp victory, 15-12 to 14-16.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.